just spent, check this out, almost an hour here. Time to get the heck out of here. This is Headingley, and I'm going for the personal record today because I want to try and reach Husky in Dryden. I think that's Husky. Yeah, Dryden. Start. That's like 376 kilometers, not too bad, but from here the border with Ontario is 2 hours away, right? And it'll take a while to go through the bypass because there's lights. But check out what I had to do. I had to improve the design of my Kenworth. So that's the new in thing. All Kenworth owners should do this. It looks pretty cool and improves aerodynamics, and my own invention. So just 2 bungee cords, and I think your fuel economy jumps by about 2 miles a gallon. But we'll test that theory as we're driving. And it's starting to snow. Like that poor guy was retopping his load, and he was cleaning. Yeah, I see that he was cleaning the ice off his mud flaps. That was my average, 45.7. At least now it's minus 14. I started in the morning. It was minus 20. Briefly it went to minus 18, and then it quickly went down to minus 20, and it stayed like that. And I started today, where was I? I was in Yorkton, Saskatchewan, which is about 400 clicks away. So I did pretty good because it was even though it was a 2-lane road at Highway 16, but I only hit a couple of small towns. But I left at like 5 o'clock, no, 6 o'clock local, which is 7 my time. So now it's 1:26. I think I should be okay. I think the first step is to reach the Manitoba Ontario line. That's 2 hours, and there's a rest area right there. So if it gets too dark or I'm gonna be too tired, I'll just stop at that. I'll stop at that rest area because it's usually empty. It's huge. You can just pull right in. And I still have my Jeep and my booster because I have the permit. I have a Saskatchewan permit, I have Manitoba permit, and some people might be wondering why somebody's driving with a Jeep and the booster. It's because the wrecker I'm using, I usually use the wrecker in Cambridge. So now they increase their prices, and I don't know anybody else over there. I have to find somebody cheaper. So they increase their prices, and now the minimum is 2 hours. Okay, and the last time I was changing from a 4-axle to this, it cost me over 500 Canadian. I think the rate was what, 235 something times 2 plus tax 13%. And so that's the problem. Like over here, right, I delivered my load. Usually if my load is an excavator, right, I can do it myself. Well, with a little help I can deck the Jeep, as they say, right? But this time I had if you remember, I had that locomotive, right? There's no way to, and plus those guys over there, they helped me unload. I was happy about that, but I didn't see any excavators or even wheel loaders over there. And I knew that I didn't want the Jeep on the deck because 100% my next load, like if I was looking for a load, right? I was looking for a load, so 100% my next load would require the Jeep off the deck. And so just to load it and then waste time unloading it. And so that's why I didn't do it. And plus there was no machines in there, right? Like I said, the guys didn't have any equipment. And so I would have to hire somebody. Let's say if I wanted to deck it or load it on the trailer, I would have to hire a wrecker company to load it. So let's say I get lucky and I find somebody who only charges 1 hour. So that would be at least like 300 bucks Canadian to load the Jeep. I'm serious. Right? And then I ended up not doing any loads because I couldn't with this border closings. It's crazy, and I just need to get home, deal with some stuff in there. And the couple of loads I saw, they were all going to US. And another problem is I cannot leave the Jeep in Alberta, right? So the problem is that I would have to drive like this with 9 axles, and it's very expensive in many states when you're this long, because you would need to have pilots, permits. And I only saw one load, actually. One load, the guy had a wheel loader. I think it was 50.
Right onto the Trans-Canada Highway ramp.
I think it was 55,000 pounds. So, more or less, at least some weight. Because everything else was like 10,000 pounds, 20,000 pounds.
In 500 meters, merge onto Trans-Canada Highway.
And nothing is wrong with light weights, and actually it's good, right? Because especially in this weather, in cold weather, your fuel mileage gets much better. But the problem is that a light load, they will never pay you enough to justify the Jeep and the booster, Like, let's say the guy will pay, he'll say, okay, it's 20,000 pounds, so all I want to pay is, $3 a mile, and I would just lose money pretty much. All money I would make would go towards fuel and permits and escorts, And that's the major reason why I didn't do a load, is because I'm so long and so many axles, right? So I need a heavy load, something like a pipe layer or a crane or a big excavator. Then at least they pay enough, because you need, let's say I'm in Western Canada, you need a Jeep, you need a booster for a heavy load, right? So, but light loads, not enough revenue. But one guy called me saying he couldn't find anybody, and somebody suggested me, I'm guessing as the last resort or something. And again, this is like a typical situation. The guy has a load in the middle of this US, northeast, in the middle of Pennsylvania. Am I based in Pennsylvania? No. Now, where do you think that load is going? Is it going back to, let's say, Toronto area or Cambridge? No. It goes to Quebec, Eastern Canada. And the guy says, yeah, somebody suggested you. I'm guessing somebody saw my videos or something, and he says, it's only 200 miles. Like, you know, customers and brokers, they like that word, only. Like, as soon as I hear somebody say, it's only 30,000 pounds, I lose interest right away. Because if it's only 30,000 pounds, they're not gonna pay. They expect you to do cheaper than a dry van. And basically then we just end up screaming at each other, you know. Or in this case, actually it was a medium-sized excavator, so about 75,000 pounds, so I can do it, no problem. But the guy says, it's only 200 miles. And I said, yeah, it's only 200 miles, but you calling me, I'm based in Toronto. And I knew something like this would happen. See, these idiots are blocking the road. So you guys kept bugging me about the convoy. So here's the convoy. So all they do, they disrupt traffic and close borders. At least over here they didn't block the entire road. But I read about this, and I saw a couple of these guys with these flags. They were passing me when I was on Highway 1. And I read in the news that they were expecting some they were expecting people to gather downtown. I'm not sure what they're doing here, but I knew something like this would happen, you know. And the left lane is blocked. How nice. Well, even if I wanted to, I cannot join this. I'm fully vaccinated. I have a Q code on my phone. Convoy. How nice. Do your job. Look at this. Wow. Man. Actually, a buddy of mine went through this crazy Winnipeg last week, and he says, yeah, bypass was closed. I said, what are you talking about? Look at this. In 1 week, it's been 1 week since that big snowstorm. They couldn't even clean the one lane. unbelievable. So yeah, I got some, I got diesel, because of course, you know, you saw my fuel mileage. It's not good, because I am still 74,000 pounds. Man, this will take forever. Now this is nothing to do with the convoy, it's just the road. I never saw BS like this. And the guys are just parked. You know, the guys parked, they're not cleaning the snow. I'm really getting tired of this. Yeah, one guy says, you don't like cold, don't come to Western Canada. Fuck you. I'll go where I want to go. If somebody pays me good money, I go there, but it doesn't mean I like it, so. It's my own little operation. Somebody pays me 10 bucks a mile, I'll go. I don't give, you know what. But wow, look at this. I mean, they just have these huge chunks of ice. And again, as you saw, like, look at that one. That one is clean. They cleaned up that side. And the guy was sitting inside the snowplow and he's just playing with his phone. That's why I honked at him. I said, you know, why are you sitting? Why are you not cleaning the road? Now if some reporter is watching this, they'll say, oh, Freedom Convoy. Yeah, right. You gotta be careful because they keep accelerating and then they are braking because there's lights in there. So this is Winnipeg. They can have it. It's like one movie about mafia and killers. I remember these two hitmen. They land in I think it was Orlando, Florida. And one guy says, so this is Florida. They can keep it. Yeah, I knew that this bypass will take a long time because even in good conditions, there's a bunch of lights on the south side. See, like now I'm on the west side of, and now the highway will turn east. Wow. This is unbelievable. This is such a bad job. Like, where's the mayor of Winnipeg? Probably busy canceling mandates and participating in the Freedom Convoy. Like, I'm paying for this, right? They charge me for every mile, every kilometer I run. As a commercial trucker, we have to pay this road tax, right? And as a Canadian, I pay taxes as well. Of course, not in Manitoba, but federal taxes. So now there's ice here. It's like a war zone over here. So still more a reason to get out of here as ASAP before I get stuck here. And I checked the weather for Dryden, Ontario. Today it's, you see, like now it's back to -18. Today it's the same, but tomorrow it's gonna be a few degrees warmer, but they expect snow showers. But only in the late afternoon. And that's why I'm eager to reach Dryden, so I can, you know, even if I'm there late, like 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, I don't care. But as long as I can leave in the morning before all these snowstorms start, you know. So this is the only guy working. One guy. All right, and finally here, the left lane opens up. One thing I can say is that stores selling Canadian flags are definitely doing a brisk business right now. the camera about to film the convoy. Yeah, I thought that the south end road would be better, because probably what happened is that over there was a lot of wind, maybe coming from the west or east, and so it blew across the road. Right here now we're driving straight east, and there's pretty much hardly any wind. And that's what I was talking about, right? Like, imagine here they cause a slight delay, but what if they turn at Highway 75? They turn and they go south towards the border, right? And they will block the border. Check this out. SUV stuck in the snow. Surprise. Most SUV drivers, they think they're invincible, right? Since they have 4x4. Oh, we still have these guys over here. I thought I passed them. Where they're going. Either they're going towards 75 and then south to the border, or they're just maybe doing a circle on the bypass around Winnipeg. Somebody was honking at me. Kind of like, why are you not in this lane? Well, like, I took a cab yesterday in Yorkton, and I'm wearing a mask, you know, and the guy, because usually in a taxi cab you're supposed to wear a mask. This guy, no mask, and we start talking, and he's like, oh man, I'm so tired about all these mandates and passports, you know, stuff like that. And he says, hospitals are full of vaccinated people who got sick. Which I don't think is true, but all right, 19 kilometers to my turnoff. I really am anxious to get out here. I think there's a couple more lights. This is one of them. Usually right before the light, the speed limit changes to 80. Oh, and these guys are still here. Oh, this is a pretty big turnout. But because of these guys, Ontario now declared the state of emergency. I wonder what's going on over there. guys with cameras. "16 clicks to my turnoff." We're still in the middle of the convoy. Like, what are they protesting again? Like I mentioned this before. Like they block the border, right? Okay. Well, first of all, you don't have the right to block highways. You can protest. Like peaceful protest, that's fine, but blocking major border crossings, that's a felony. But let's say this idiot Trudeau, I don't like the guy, he's an idiot, but let's just say he cancels all mandates, right? All Canada, nobody gives a fuck about COVID anymore. It's all open, all restaurants open, all parties allowed. But what about US? US will never allow unvaccinated Canadians to cross the border. Because I know I deal with this. I had to print out my proof of vaccination. Otherwise they were not letting me in. You know? "14 clicks to the turnoff." All right, one more light. Positive note, I think my booster started working. You know, yesterday I had to drop the Jeep. I was running short on fuel, and I found a Petro Pass, where of course I don't have the Petro Pass card, but sometimes the Petro Pass will have a Petro Canada on the same site. And I went inside and said, "Can you start the Petro Pass pumps?" And she says no. She says, "We have no control over the Petro Pass, but we have diesel over here." I think it was like $1.50 per liter. And so, but it was too tight, you know, it's like a small gas station, so it's -20. I hate doing this in -20, so I had to drop the Jeep. But you know, I'm empty, so I didn't have to do anything about the trailer. I just put down the legs on the Jeep and then drop suspension, unlocked, you know. But it still took probably like an hour, disconnecting, getting fuel, reconnecting. And what I wanted to say, oh yeah, and when I was disconnecting, I drained all the air, because now thanks to Alan from Keswick, right, I have those cables everywhere except I don't have them on the Jeep and I don't have them on the last axle on my booster. But over there, it's I'm using those little taps. Except I think on the booster it's kind of seized. But anyway, so I drained as much air as I could, and then I got out my that red bottle with alcohol, and I poured a bunch of alcohol into air lines. And then I noticed this morning that the airbags became bigger on the booster, whereas before they were like really flat. So I hope it means that my ride height control don't have ice anymore in there, but it should be warmer down the road. It's like a freeze everywhere now, but a couple of days, even this what do you call it, Dryden, right? I think next Thursday is going to be like +6 Celsius. I think I need 8.5 kilometers. I think there's gonna be one last light in there, and then there'll be a ramp, and it'll say Highway 1 East, Dryden. Actually, those two guys over there, like one guy with a flat roof and tall pipes, they passed me. I was on highway 16, and I saw they had a flag in the back, and I'm thinking, oh man, they're gonna block the road in front of me. So I really rushed through the lunch. I went inside Denny's, grabbed the lunch, because I knew something like this would happen. This guy has a sign, "Let children breathe O2." Oh, check this out. What's going on here? No trains. Too much ice in there. Seven kilometers to my turnoff. Actually, we already passed Highway 75. So this means that these guys are going, I hope they're going around the city. Not on Highway 1. Please, do not go on Highway 1 in front of me. in the front.
In 800 meters, merge onto Trans-Canada Highway, Manitoba 1 East.
So thanks God, so they're just doing a circle around Winnipeg.